Formula 1 is ready to race at the Austrian Red Bull Ring, which runs through the greenish grasslands of the Styrian Mountains, giving a fairy tale feeling to Formula 1 fans. The Austrian race weekend is very important for the Red Bull racing team as this is their home race. The Austrian GP is scheduled to be held according to the revised sprint race format, and that means only practice sessions will be there for the whole race weekend. We are going to discuss the Austrian GP race and strategies in detail through this video. But before we proceed, hit the subscribe button and smash the bell icon for more exciting updates. The total length of the track is 4.318 kilometers, and the main race is held as an event composed of a total race length of 306.452 kilometers. In order to cover that distance, the race will be held as an event composed of 71 laps. This will be the second sprint race weekend of the year, and the spectators are lucky to see 2 qualifying events and 2 races within the same race weekend, thanks to the current sprint race format. For the first time, the Austrian GP was held in 1963 at the Zeltweg in southeastern Austria. It was moved to the neighbouring Spielberg during the 1969 season, with the construction of a permanent track there. Initially, it was called the Österreich Ring, and later that name was replaced with names like A1 Ring and Red Bull Ring. Since the beginning, this track has been very famous among drivers as a very fast track layout due to its long, high-speed corners. Other than drivers, Österreichring became a very famous destination among Formula 1 fans due to the scenic view of the surrounding Styrian Mountains. The original track was refurbished in 1995 and renamed as A1 Ring due to a sponsorship. 2 years later, the track was redesigned under the concept of Hermann Tilke, and with that new layout, some of the sweeping corners in the original design were removed. Until the transfer of ownership of this historical track to Red Bull GmbH of Austria in 2013, the race was not held on this iconic track after the 2003 season. New owners of the track reached an agreement with Bernie Ecclestone for the inclusion of the Austrian GP to the Formula 1 calendar. Even though this is a home race of the Red Bull racing team, the most successful constructor on this track layout is Ferrari, recording 7 victories here. Joe Seifert, Alain Prost and Max Verstappen have equally won 3 races each, recording the most number of victories here. When analysing the current form of each driver, Red Bull's Max Verstappen has the best chance to win this race as he did last year too. The reigning world champion has recorded the fastest lap on this layout by completing a lap within 1 minute and 7.275 seconds. Ferrari's Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz were responsible for the remaining 2 podium positions last year, and there is a bigger risk for them to lose that achievement this year, as rival teams like Aston Martin and Mercedes are showing a good form compared to the previous year. After their sudden decline in Barcelona, Aston Martin showed a huge improvement in the race at Montreal, so either teams have an equal probability to compete for the podium places. Over the last few races, Sergio Perez has been in a very bad form, and this will be a huge blow to the plans of the Milton Keynes-based racing outfit. If he can reach his normal form, he will surely reserve a podium place, challenging both Aston Martin and Mercedes drivers. The tyre management plays a key role for the victory here, and Pirelli suggests a one-stop strategy on this fast-track layout as it proved to be effective within the last few years. Their recommendation is to run on medium compounds till 24-32 laps and then switch to hard till the end of the race. But they came up with an alternative solution, like starting on hard and running until 46-54 laps before switching to soft in the closing stages. However, the climate will be different compared to the last few seasons, as there is a possible interruption from the rain, and the teams will have to follow a different strategy if there is water on the track, making it mandatory to use an intermediate or wet to improve the grip on a slippery layout. One feature that we saw in all the sprint races held since the introduction of the new race format 2 years ago is all the races were held in dry conditions without any interruptions from the rain. But this time, there is a high probability to change that trend, as there is a high possibility of rain on Saturday evening. 16 millimeters of rain is expected by the authorities, and rain will slowly move towards the east of the Hungarian border. However, the rain will be over by 4:30 p.m, which is the scheduled start to the race, and the ambient temperature of the track will be around the 20 degrees Celsius mark. There is little fear about the interruption of the qualifying session as well as the main qualifying session on Friday because of rain. Temperature is expected to remain closer to 26 degrees Celsius, and there is lesser probability to affect the main race on Sunday, which is scheduled to be held at 2 p.m. local time. There will be cloudy sky and sunny weather, which is good for optimum racing. But nothing can be predicted early, as anything can happen within a gap of a few seconds. However, we can expect that Verstappen will dominate this race too, if everything flows normally. We'd really love to hear your predictions for the 3 podium finishes of the Austrian Grand Prix, and use the comment section to share your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel to get more exciting Formula 1 news. See you in the next video, guys. Goodbye.